Hey guys, Barry at CTech-review. Today I want to talk about vehicle pricing. Where are those 30 to 35% MSRP discounts that we heard from so many different channels and people for the last 2 years? Where are they at? Are they out there? Are we going to ever see them? Let's get into this. You know, it's funny, I'm driving today and I'm going to a conference that's heavily focused in mobility around electrification of vehicles. What's funny to me about it is I've watched this industry in the last 10 years go from like internal combustion to hybrid to electric is coming, to electric is gonna take over the world. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take over the world. Everything's going EV. And I watched this conference grow and grow, and everyone's like, man, this is the biggest conference in the industry. It's so important, blah, blah, blah. I'm really curious to see what I'm gonna see this week because EV was pushed so heavily for the past few years. Do we see the same hype in this conference this year as we saw the last few years of pushing? I think you're gonna still see EV growth, but probably just not in the United States. I think we'll see it in a lot of other markets. And in full fairness, I'm okay with that. What's best for America, we gotta do what's best for us. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with other countries and other manufacturers. But for me, at the end of the day, what I wanna see is people having affordable transportation, whatever way it works. Let's just give people more affordable vehicles to drive so people don't have to spend $50,000, $100,000 on stuff. If there's a way to get $15,000 to $30,000 vehicles or get $200 a month leases again, man, that's what America needs more than anything right now. So it's been about 2 years. The market's crashing. Everything's ending. We're gonna see 30, 40, 50% off on vehicles. Well, it's October of 2025. I never saw a 35% MSRP discount. In fact, I don't think we ever saw anything more than maybe 5%. And that was on the Ram 1500s and a lot of the Stellantis products about 2 years ago, I wanna say. And it was about a 5–10% drop on MSRP, which I'd never seen even before that. But I find it interesting that the hype around the 30–35% MSRP, I'd be curious, did you guys ever see this? I never saw it. And I talk and work with dealers all across the country and even some outside of the United States and in Canada, still never saw it. We all want to see those discounts. You think they're actually ever going to happen? Because sadly, I actually think we're going to see the opposite. I'm all in favor for more affordable vehicles. Sadly, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see the opposite of that. Here's what I mean. As an example, I'm not picking on the Ram 1500 RHO or Ram as a brand. But have you guys been following what's happened to the RHO in like the last month? The truck went up, I think, $2,900. If you go and build a 2025 Ram 1500 level 1 versus a 2026 level 1, and you go and compare these specs, apples to apples now at the time of doing this video, that truck's about $2,900 more on an $83,000, $84,000 vehicle. When you start talking $84,000 at $3,000, that's almost 5% mid-model year. That's a ton of money. That's a big increase in a mid-model year. So price didn't go down at all and actually went up 5% mid-model year. And I started looking at where are these increases coming from. I saw primarily three areas. The base price went up. The other one was the beadlock wheels, specifically went from I think like $1,895 to like $2,495, approximately like $500 to $700. But a lot of the other options stayed flat. Why specifically would the beadlock wheels go up? Think about that. What are beadlock wheels made out of? Aluminum, steel, forged? Is it some of the impacts we've seen with those products? Is it a specific alloy? Is it a machined? Is it something with machining it that required almost a 40% increase in one calendar year? That's huge, guys. Seriously, one option, think about this. $1,900 to $2,500 It's only, what, $500-600. But when you compare that to the actual price of what it was, sorry, it's not 50%, 25%. That's a monstrous increase on one option. The other thing that went up, besides base price, is the destination. The delivery of these trucks went from, what, $2,000 to $2,500. Another 25% increase. Do you guys think it was specifically those two items that are driving the increase? Or do we think that maybe the manufacturer found that was a really good place to hide a price increase on the vehicle? I'm actually leaning more towards the latter, that if you think about it, I'd rather go, if I was a manufacturer, I'd rather go and put an increase on something like destination charges, because then I can say, man, I'm assembling my vehicle at the same price. It's not my fault. It's the delivery company, and they're kind of passing the buck onto somebody. I mean, when I think about it commercially, it seems like it's a great way to save face with your customers. But regardless, at the end of the day, it went up that much more, which is a huge increase. And more so now with the DC 650 Fox factory Ram 1500 at $95,000. It's about 10 grand more MSRP to MSRP than an RHO. But with the RHO discounts that have been in the past with certain dealers, they're going for $8,000-10,000 under MSRP. So there's almost a $20,000 gap there. I think this alludes to exactly what we're going to see with this new TRX coming out. I really still believe we're going to see 105 to 115 at a minimum. But I doubt we'll see the discounts like we've seen with the RHO. We might see some, but off the bat, maybe not as much. But I'll be curious. There's probably a lot of people that watch this channel, they're in the automotive industry or in a supply chain. What are you seeing for price reductions, price increases, price stability, or content reduction? Are you seeing content being reduced? Are you seeing prices being reduced? If we compare specifically Ford on the Super Duty 25 versus 2026, we saw anywhere between a 3 and 5% price increase. No one likes to see price increases. I completely get it. I don't like to see price increases either. With that being said, it is inflation and it's always been there. We always see price increases, so I'm not surprised. I think the thing that's more discouraging to me beyond even just price increases is decontenting. There's nothing like peeing on me. I think this is Jason Samco's term. What does he say? Peeing on my back and saying thank you or something. I forgot his analogy. You're paying more money and you're getting less features than the model year before. Man, that's frustrating. If it was me, I'd rather just pay more money and not lose the options from the year before, because at least you're not giving up and paying more. That's a double screw. And so I'd be curious, what do you guys think about this? Will we ever see 30-35% MSRP off these vehicles? But since this topic had came out a few years ago, the doom and gloom scenario that the market was going to drop 30-35%, I've never seen it. I've never seen a manufacturer drop 30%. In fact, the only people who are offering discounts were the dealerships. They were taking it on the chin, not the manufacturer. I'd be curious your guys' thoughts. Leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching.